we're going to go over smartphones versus basic phones. So we're going to look at the site Cricket, and we're going to shop for, we'll start with smartphones. So they have promotions here. Promotions which give you a free smartphone or a discounted smartphone. And if you activate a phone with them, you can get a free phone or a discounted phone. This is their current promotion. And we can look down here to do a search for the phones that they have. We can look at the operating system. Operating systems are the Android or the iPhone, Windows Phone. Those are all operating systems. So you can filter your search or narrow your search by the operating system. You can also narrow it by the manufacturer. Manufacturers are those who produce or make the phones. You have Apple, HTC, LG, and so on. We can also bring devices over to here to this section to compare. If you compare something, you look at least 2 or 3 or more different things that are similar, and you see what their similarities are, what their differences are. You compare them to one another. So we can choose, let's look at these promotional items that they have for free. Let's compare them in our chart over here. We can choose up to 3 to compare. This one here is on discount. We will also compare that. And then we can look at them side by side. Then it lists each phone in a column, and you can see how each one's specifications or specs, the details about that phone, compare to the others. So the HTC has a 4.7-inch screen, whereas the Nokia has a 4-inch screen, and this Nokia has a 4.5-inch screen. So we know that the HTC is a bit larger. The size of the phone, and then the cameras. You have a rear camera, which is the normal camera you would take pictures with, and then a front camera, which is what you could take your selfies with, which the camera is pointing towards yourself. This camera here, this first HTC camera, has a VGA front camera. VGA is just a small megapixel, not very good quality camera. That's what it has pointing towards yourself. And then for the rear camera, the camera you would normally use to take pictures, each of these camera has a 5 megapixel, MP is megapixel, camera. This one, the Nokia, has HD, high definition video recording. This camera here does not do video, and this one has HD video also. Then we can compare the processor speed. They're each a quad core, quad meaning 4, a quad core 1.2 gigahertz processor, which is a good processor. They're all the same there. And then the OS, as we talked about before, the operating system is an Android here, and these are both Windows phones. The memory in the first phone is 8 gigabytes internal storage, and you can also put in a micro SD card for an additional 64 gigabytes. This does the same thing, but you can put in a micro SD for up to 128 gigabytes. And then this middle phone is just a simple 4 gigabytes of memory. It does not have a lot of memory. And then GPS. GPS is what you would use for directions, getting from one place to another, and your phone can direct you. This phone uses Google Maps to give you turn-by-turn navigation. So navigates you or shows you the way to where you want to go. This uses Google Maps. This one in the middle uses Bing Maps. And this last one uses what is called Here Maps. And they're all just different GPS navigation systems. You can make your choice based on looking at these specifications, comparing the devices side by side. So when you choose a smartphone, you can choose a plan that allows you to have 4G internet access. You can choose the most inexpensive. What costs the least would be $40 a month here on this site at Cricket. You can choose a basic plan, or you can go up from there, Smart, Pro, Advanced, and remember that the difference between each of these is how much data you are able to download each month. And now we're going to look at just our basic phones. Are you a talker and a texter? So do you make phone calls and text? Who doesn't need a smartphone? Cricket has your back. So if you say you have someone's back, you are there for them. You're supporting them. You have, here Cricket, they have something available for you. Not everyone needs a smartphone. Not everybody wants to connect to the internet all the time. Not everyone needs a GPS for directions. So they just want to talk and text, and you can just get a cheaper phone with a cheaper plan. With this type of basic phone, your rate plan will be just talk and text. It is much cheaper, $25 a month, compared with $40, $50, or $60 a month to have only talk and text and no connection to 4G or the 4G LTE network. So with the talk and text, you get unlimited calling and unlimited text messaging. Another option that you have, instead of buying a smartphone or buying a basic phone from the company, you can bring your own phone. So if you already have a phone, you can still get service from the company as long as you have an unlocked phone. The phones in America are normally locked if it's under contract. If the phone is under contract with one company, they won't unlock it for you until you have paid the full price for that phone. If you have a phone like that, you can bring it in and see if it's compatible with their network. Compatible means that it works with. So some electronics will only work with some systems. You can check with Cricket to see if your phone is compatible, if it works with them. And you can buy a SIM card for $10. Once you buy that SIM card, then you can get on either their basic plan or their talk and text plan, depending on what you want to do on your phone.
Smartphone, basic phone. Which one? Which one would you like to use? I mean, smartphone, smart, right? Who doesn't want to be smart? I want to be smart. I choose a smartphone. But it's not that simple, because a basic phone has, some okay functions also. It really is up to you. You need to choose which one best suits your needs. I mean, some people, they want a smartphone because it's cool or it's stylish. Now, I'm a bit older, so it doesn't matter to me if I have a flip phone and I walk up and I'm talking out in public. But maybe some of you younger guys, it doesn't look too cool when you're trying to talk to some of the girls and you have just a little flip phone. But that's entirely up to you again. Or maybe you're more interested in what is the functionality. You want something that has lots of very good 4G connectivity, has Wi-Fi, maybe that the processor is fast. Maybe you take a lot of photos. So a concern of yours is what's the megapixels? You don't want to take blurry pictures and post them online. And the last thing is cost. I mean, really, in the end, for a lot of people, cost is what matters. Maybe the smartphone is, a little too expensive than what you really need, and you need to just go with the basic phone. In the end, the choice is yours.